I'm going to tell you a story, and I'm alone because I just want to talk about that thing alone, about about the complication that I had just after giving birth to Nilan. I'll talk about the complication that I had after giving birth to Nilan, and then I think I'll do another story of the complication that I had during Nilan's pregnancy. So let me just start with the after birth complications. I gave birth to Nilan through CS. Yeah, it was through CS. I gave birth to Nilan on 5th of February 2017. That's when I gave birth to Nilan. So I had labored for long. I had labored for like was it 72 hours? Because it was like 3 days. And then on the third day I was induced. I was induced, and the reason why I had to go through CS, it was because I had labored for long. And you know, when you labor for long, it may cause problems to you or the child. I was induced, and after the induction, still it was not possible for me to deliver normal. So I had to go for an emergency CS. So I went for the CS. After the CS, we came out fine. Both Nilan and I were okay. So from the CS room, from the operation room, Nilan was taken, and at least I had my time to sleep. I slept. I remember I slept from 12 to 4. That at 4, that's when Nilan was brought to me, so that I could breastfeed him and take care of him. So the following day after CS, I noticed that there was something different about me. Because I could not walk, I could not move, I could not do anything. And the other ladies that we had CS on the same day, they were walking, they were taking care of their children, they were doing everything for themselves. So I went to the doctor and told him that I think I'm not okay, because I'm in so much pain. I cannot walk, I cannot even move, I cannot even carry my baby, I cannot even breastfeed my baby. And the doctor told me that it's normal to feel like that, because it's my first time having a CS. And he just gave me painkillers. I was given painkillers, and I was told to go back and rest. So I went back and rest, but it was difficult for me even to just wake up and breastfeed Nilan. And I was having stomach cramps. Oh my God, that time. Yani, I was just going through pain after pain, pain after pain. So the doctors gave me the painkillers, told me to rest. I rested, but still I was not getting any better. So I was discharged. I went home after like 3 days. Okay, after I was discharged, when I was home, I could not do anything. Even breastfeeding Nilan was a problem to me. I could not walk, I could not stand. Baba Nilan was the one who would even change my sleeping position. I could not do anything. When I went to the toilet, Baba Nilan was the one who would come and wipe me. He was the one who washed me. He did everything for me, because I could not do anything because of the pain that I was having on my wound. And when I asked other people who had CS on the same day, would tell me that they are fine. In fact, they are healing. They can walk, they can do anything. So after 7 days or 5 days, I noticed my wound there was a discharge that was coming out. So I went back to hospital, and they said that my wound had an infection. So the doctor washed my wound. Let me just tell you, the doctor that we found that night was drunk. He was very, very drunk. So he washed my wound without even giving me any medicine. He washed it, and then he dressed it, and he told me that I should go for dressing every day for 7 days. When I came from the hospital, the following day I went for dressing to the nearest clinic I went for like 7 days. After 7 days there was no change. So the nurse who was doing the dressing and the hospital told me that I should go back to where I had delivered so that they can check the wound, because it's not yani it's, well, how do I say it, yani it there was no change after the dressing, after the washing the wound every day, after giving me the medication, there was no change. So I went to the hospital where I gave birth, and the doctor told me that hii kidonda hata iko sawa, hata inapona, yani it's okay, it's even healing. We went back home. Still I was just having pain on my wound. So we went back home after 2 weeks. When we were just at home at night, I was just seated, and then I had something in my tummy, and then on the wound, and then there was some fluid that was coming out from the wound, and from my private part there was some fluid. So that's when I was rushed to hospital where I had given birth. The doctor that we found was even shocked. How comes we never went back? Oh, blah blah blah. That's what he told me. We should have gone back because this wound had a problem from day one. I told him that I've always been coming here, and the doctors that I found were telling me that my wound is okay, that napona. The doctor said that I was to go for another operation, and it was very, very urgent. It was an emergency. I was admitted. I stayed in hospital. I was admitted that night. I was admitted that day. So because I could not do anything, Baba Nillan had to go back home with Nillan. See, they had told me that it was an emergency, that I was supposed to go for an operation, and it was an emergency. Oh, can you imagine? They kept me for 3 days. 3 days again waiting. Ati kuna line, ati line ni kubwa, na kuna zile emergencies zinakuja zenye they can't ignore, that there are those people that they must be attended to first. Now I even wondered, kwani mine again, it's not an emergency? And they had said that it was an emergency. And remember, I was going through so much pain. Yeah, kidonda ilikuwa inaniuma, ile kidonda iko na usaa, ilikuwa inauma, inauma. So on the 4th day, I remember, that's when I had to go and see the doctor and ask him, hata kama you are telling me that kuna zile emergency zenye zinakuja za accidents za nini zenye you can't ignore, that mimi yangu si mbaya sana, I can wait, I'm in pain, naumia. And when you admitted me, you told me that yangu ni emergency, mbona msinishughulikie? So that's when that night, it was not that night, like 4 o'clock, I was called to go for the operation. I went for that operation. They opened my wound, they washed it, and it was left like that. I was told I would stay like that for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Remember, ile siku now, the first day that I was supposed to go for the washing, mali tulikuwa tunaoshewa from the ward that I was in. Ungesikia nduru, why? Yani the pain that people are going through wakioshwa. And I imagined, oh my God, I'm going to go through the same pain. I had to hide myself in the toilet. They came looking for me. They had to beg me, niende nioshwe, because that first day I was washed. Ikaachwa hivyo. The second day, hivyo went on like that. And remember, venye naoshwa, there is no medication that I'm given to reduce the pain. I'm going through that pain. Hivyo. It went on like that for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, my wound was okay, because I was told they will stop washing it when imekaa red, inakaa fresh, aina the whitish thing, whitish thing ndio ina cause your pain, na ndio ina cause infection. I was washed after the wound was fine. after the wound was that red, when you waliniambia that it was supposed to look red and fresh, it was time for me to go back to theater. Yeah, again to theater, kwa hiyo room ya theater, for the wound to be stitched back. I was stitched. I went to I was stitched. On that time that they were stitching, can you imagine that dawa iliisha before they finished stitching the wound? Walikuwa almost kumalizia, so the remaining part I felt that pain wakimalizia kushona. Thank God I was discharged, but because of financial issues I stayed in hospital for a few more weeks. But we thank God I was okay finally, and the wound was okay. But to be honest with you guys, I went through a lot that during that time, and up to now I can't say that my wound has been okay, that it's nilipona kabisa. No, I still have some pain on my wound. I can't do heavy chores, sizi inama sana. I can't sit for long, I can't walk for long. Yani, I'm not the Maggie that I used to be. No, everything changed. Yani, I just feel like I'm not the same person. Everything just changed in my body. Sometimes I feel sick. No, I can't tell you why I'm sick. But sometimes I just feel I'm sick. Sometimes unapata that inauma that I can't sleep. Yani inauma na unasikia inauma from inside. But I thank God, pale mahali pabaya Mungu alinitoa hapo. We thank God for Nillan. We thank God for everything that we went through, because God was prepared